So, we are in Chapter 8 International Economic Organization, and today we are going to discuss about International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, or World Bank. Okay, so this reconstructional, that is the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, that is IBRD, otherwise called the World Bank, was established in the year 1945 under the Bretton Woods Conference in 1944. So this bank was introduced in the year 1945. So the main purpose is to bring about a smooth transition from a wartime to a peacetime. Okay, so the main introduction of this bank was there was a heavy economic depression and a great problems and issues. So it was like a wartime because there was a heavy economic crisis. So to make a peacetime in the economy, the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development was introduced. So it is also known as a sister institution along with the International Monetary Fund. So it is also known as the sister institution and with the International Monetary Fund. So you have the following World Bank Group, that is International Bank for Reconstruction Development, International Development Association, that is International Financial Corporation, that is IFC, then Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency, International Center for Settlement of Investment Disputes. Okay, so you have the following World Bank Group. So the membership in International Monetary Fund is a prerequisite to become a member of IBRD. So the IBRD was established to provide a long-term financial assistance to member countries. So all these countries are said to be the member countries, and all the financial assistance are provided to all these banks. Okay, so what is the main objective or aim of the IBRD is, first one, to help member countries. Okay, so already we saw the member countries as 189, right? So its main aim is to help the member countries for economic reconstruction and development. If any country is suffering from a depression, so in that case, this IBRD bank help that country to reconstruct and develop its economic position. அதோட பொருளாதாரத்தை ரொம்ப வீக்காக இருக்கிற பட்சத்தில் they can get the amount finance from the World Bank to make them stabilize, make them improve. Okay, next is to stimulate long run capital investment for restoring balance of payments equilibrium. So this if the balance of payment is disequilibrium, in order to make it as a equilibrium and to get to ensure the balanced development of international trade, it provides some long-term loans. Then it provides guarantees for loans. Okay, it provides guarantees for loans, that is purposefully for infrastructural and industrial projects of a member nations. Okay, and next, to help war ravaged economies transform into peace economies. அதாவது வந்து ரொம்ப ரொம்ப டிப்ரெஷனில் இருக்கிற எக்கனாமிக்ஸ், அதாவது வந்து வார் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் எப்படி இருக்கும், ரொம்ப சண்டை போட்டுட்டு, அதாவது ரொம்ப ஹெவி லாஸ் ஆகிட்டு இருக்கும். ஹெவி லாஸ் தான் வார். ஸோ அப்போது எக்கனாமிக்ஸ்லேயும் ரொம்ப லாஸாக இருக்கிறது, ரொம்ப ஏதோ குழப்பமாக இருக்கிற சூழ்நிலையை ஒரு பீஸாக கொண்டு வர்றது வந்து திஸ் வேர்ல்டு பேங்க் ஹெல்ப்ஸ். ஓகே, and to supplement foreign private investment by direct loans out of its own funds. It make some foreign investment. Okay, and next is World Bank lending procedure. Let us see some of the procedures which is followed by the World Bank for lending its finance. The bank advances loan to members in 3 ways. 3 வழி. ஒன்று வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா loans out of its own fund, அதோட own fundலேருந்து, இல்லைனா out of capital borrowed or other to or loans from the banks guaranteed. So the bank has changed its developmental loan strategy and lays more emphasis on financing schemes which directly influence the well-being of poor mass of the member countries. So the amount of agriculture loan has increased more rapidly than in any other sector. So agriculture loans வந்து பார்த்திங்கன்னா மற்ற இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸை வந்து என்ன ஆகுது அப்படின்னு பார்த்திங்கன்னா இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆகிடுச்சு. The bank now also takes interest in the activities of the development of rural areas. So now the bank has taken more interest to make the development in the rural areas. So spread of education among the rural people, yes. So now it provides education or a knowledge through the education to the rural people, and it develops roads for traveling one place to another, okay, and the transactions can be done easier in the rural areas. And electrification of the villages. Now free electricities are provided to the village people, okay, for the purpose of cultivation. So next you have some of the functions of IBRD. So the World Bank performs the major role of providing loans for development works to member countries, especially to underdeveloped countries. So it provides loans to all the countries, member countries, whomever is asking, especially to the underdeveloped countries, okay. It provides some long-term loans for the purpose of its development, okay. So let us see some of the functions. First one, investment for productive purpose, okay. So what is that investment of productive purposes? The World Bank performs the functions of assisting in the reconstruction and development territories. So this World Bank provides loans for the development of territories, that is construction activities, and for the productions of new goods. It also encourages the development productive facilities, okay, mostly in the less developed countries. Next is balanced growth of international trade. It also provide and promote long range balanced growth of trade in the international level, and it maintains the BOP in an equilibrium, okay. It encourages the international investment also. Next, provision of loans and guarantees. It arranges loans and provide guarantee on that loans by various other channels to execute, to develop, to introduce some important project. Next, promotion of foreign private investment. And next, it promotes the private foreign investment by guaranteeing on loans and other investment made by private investors. So it also supplements private investment by providing finance for productive purpose. So it provides finance for the purpose of production out of its own resources or from borrowed funds. If sufficient amount is not available in that bank, it borrows the funds from other places. Next is technical services. The World Bank facilitates different kinds of technical service to the member countries through staff, college and experts, okay. So it provides the services through its colleges and through the experts to the member countries. Next we have the achievements. So let us see achievements of World Bank. So what are the notable achievements are? First, it is noted that the bank's member has increased from the initial number of 30 countries to 60 countries in 1960 and 151 countries in 1988 and last 189. So first it was just 30 countries, then it increased to 189 members. So this is one of the main achievement, and it grants all the medium and long-term loans periods like 15 to 20 years for the reconstruction and development purpose. So the actual term of loan depends upon the project, okay, project of the particular field. Then Initially, the World Bank's loans were mainly directed by at the European countries. Okay, first it was directed by the European countries, and later it was changed in the development of loan strategy. Okay, so the World Bank also grants loans to member countries only for productive purpose, particularly for agriculture, irrigation, power and transport, because these are the things which is very very important and backbone of the economic development. So the World Bank provide loans for all these for the productive purposes like agriculture, irrigation, power and transport. And also the bank strengthens the infrastructure needed for the further development. Okay. Next, the International Development Association, the soft loan window of the bank, provides loans to the UDC, that is underdeveloped countries, at very low rate of interest. It provides loans to the underdeveloped countries at a very low rate, so that all the underdeveloped countries people will be able to borrow the loans from the World Bank. Okay, so they can step into the next condition to make a improvement. So the economic inequality among the member countries goes on increasing. Because of this World Bank provides loans to the underdeveloped countries. Many African countries are yet to improve their economic status, but still they are in the same conditions. Okay. Next, India and World Bank. Let us see the relationship between India and the World Bank. So the name International Bank for Reconstruction and Development was first suggested by India to the drafting committee. So first it was introduced by the India for drafting committee. Since then the two since then the two have developed a close relationship with each other. So India and the World Bank have a close relationship. Okay, so as I told you, first it was developed and reconstructed by India, okay, by the drafting committee. Okay, and it has a close relationship with India. And the World Bank has been large financial assistance to India for economic development. So it provided more loans, more finance for the development of the economy in India. So special mention may be made of the assistance World Bank has given India in the development of infrastructure such as electric power, transport, communication, irrigation projects, steel industry. So for these development, World Bank has provided loans to India. The World Bank also assisted a number of projects. The IFCs has identified 5 priority areas like capital market development, that is direct foreign investment, access to foreign markets, equity investment in new and expanding companies and infrastructure. So the World Bank has also assisted India in accelerating programs of poverty alleviation, okay, and economic development. So it also entered this World Bank also aims to reduce the poverty and also works for the economic development. Until China became the member of World Bank in 1980, India was the largest beneficiary of the World Bank assistance. So till China's membership, India was the one of the largest beneficiary in the World Bank. Okay. So now let us see World Trade Organization, that is WTO. So the World Trade Organization, so this was introduced in the year 1945 as a successor of GATT. Okay, already we discussed about this GATT. So it is a new international organization which was set up as a permanent body, okay, and is designed to play the role of watchdog in the spheres of trade in goods and services. ஸோ எப்படி வந்து ஒரு டாக் வந்து எப்படி வந்து கீனாக நோட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்குமோ அதே மாதிரி வந்துட்டு இந்த World Trade Organization also is watching everything as a clear of all the trades in goods and services like foreign investment and intellectual property rights. The Dunkel draft formulated by Arthur Dunkel, its Secretary General, became the base for WTO. So its Secretary General became the base. Every 2 years, the member countries, that is Commerce Ministers Conference, are being organized to discuss and settle the important souls and trade related matters. Okay, so every 2 years, a meeting will be or a conference will be held to discuss about the important matters relating to trade. Then the first WTO conference was held in Singapore in 1996. The recent conference was held at Argentina in 2017, and it was planned to organize 12th ministerial conference at Kazakhstan in Kazakhstan in 2020. So World Trade Center, that is WTC headquarters, located at New York, USA. It features the landmark Twin Towers, which was established on 4th April 1973. So it was established in 1973. Okay, so later it was destroyed on the 11th September. So this and all will come for you. One word. It brings together business involved in international trade from around the globe. Okay, so now let us see the objectives of WTO. Okay, so the objectives of WTO is first, reduction of tariff and other barriers, that is to reduce the rules and taxes. Okay, and next is to eliminate discrimination in trade, that is differentiation in trade, and maximum to facilitate higher standard of living for all the people, and to facilitate optimal use of all the resources, world's resources, and to enable the LDs, that is less developed countries, to secure fair share. They should get the fair share in the growth of international trade, and to ensure linkages between trade policies, environmental policies, and sustainable development. That is giving assurance for trade policies, environmental policies, and there will be a sustainable development without any damage to the environment. And let us see some of the WTO agreements. So agreement on trade related intellectual property rights. So intellectual property rights, the first agreement is on trade related intellectual property rights. Intellectual property rights include copyright, trademark, patents, geographical indication, trade secrets, and industrial designs, etc. TRIPS agreement provides for granting product patents instead of process patents. The period of protection will be like 20 years. Okay, so all this copyright and patent right, this and all will be having the protection till 20 years of patents, and 50 years for copyrights, and 7 years for trademarks, and 10 layers for layout design. So you would have seen all the copyrights for all the songs. Okay, we would have heard of all the patent rights and trademarks in the products. Okay, so this and all have a specified periods. Please note this and all will come for your interior one words, and also you should know for government examinations these types of questions will be asked. Okay, patent right period is 20 years, copyright period is 50 years, and trademarks is for 7 years, and layout design is for 10 years. So as a result of TRIPS, the dependence of LDC on an advanced countries for seeds, drugs, fertilizers, and pesticides increase. So now it been increased for the for the dependence of seeds, drugs, and all. Farmers are depending on the industrial firm for their seeds. Yes, so all the farmers depend on the industrial firm for seeds. விதைகளுக்காக வந்து அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, இன்னொரு இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸை வந்து டிபெண்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஓகேவா, அடுத்தது agreement on trade related investment measures. that is trim. So the trade related investment measures அப்படின்றது வந்து என்னென்னா இது வந்து எதுக்கு அப்படின்னா ஃபாரின் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட். ஓகே, தட் இஸ் ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன் இன் த ரெஸ்பெக்ட் ஆஃப் ஃபாரின் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட். இட் கால்ஸ் ஃபார் இன்ட்ரடியூசிங் ஈக்குவல் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் ஃபார் ஃபாரின் கம்பெனிஸ் ஆன் பார் வித் நேஷ்னல் கம்பெனி. ஸோ எல்லாமே வந்து ஈக்குவலாக இருக்கணும் அப்படின்றது தான் இதோடது. அதே மாதிரி இது வந்து என்னென்னா இட் எம்ப்ளாய்டு பை டெவலப்பிங் கண்ட்ரீஸ். ஸோ என்னென்னா இது எதுக்காக வந்து நம்ம ட்ரிம் எதுக்காக நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா ட்ரேட் ரிலேட்டட் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் டு மேக் த மெம்பர் கண்ட்ரீஸ், அதாவது அதர் கண்ட்ரீஸை வந்து என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னா டெவலப் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றதா இதோட மோட்டிவ். ஸோ ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன் ஆன் ஃபாரின் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் ஆன் ஃபாலோவிங் கிரவுண்ட்ஸ் ஆர் டு பி ரிமூவ். ஸோ என்னென்ன ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன் டு பி ரிமூவ் அப்படின்னா நோ ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன் அண்ட் ஏரியா ஆஃப் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட், எந்த ஏரியாவில் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட் இருக்கணும் அப்படின்றது ஷுட் பி ரிமூவ். அப்புறம் லோக்கல் மெட்டீரியல்ஸை வந்து எந்த விதத்துலையும் வந்து நோ பைண்டிங் ஆன் யூஸ் ஆஃப் லோக்கல் மெட்டீரியல். தே ஷுட் நாட் யூஸ் எனி லோக்கல் மெட்டீரியல்ஸ். அண்ட் எக்ஸ்போர்ட் இஸ் மேண்டேட்டரி. தட் இஸ் அதை வந்து எக்ஸ்போர்ட் பண்ணும் அப்படின்றது அவசியம் இல்லை. நோ ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷன் ஆன் த ரொயாலிட்டி, டிவிடெண்ட் அண்ட் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட், அண்ட் நோ ட்ரேட் பேலன்சிங் ரெக்வயர்மெண்ட்ஸ். ஸோ தீஸ் ஆர் த சம் ஆஃப் த restrictions on foreign investment. Okay, and next is some of the GATS, that is general agreement on trade in service. General agreement in trade in service அப்படின்னா இது வந்து ஃபஸ்ட் இட் இஸ் அ மல்டிலேட்ரல் செட் ஆஃப் ரூல்ஸ். நிறையா ரூல்ஸ் இங்கே வந்து இருக்குது. ஓகேவா, என்னெல்லாம் கவர் ஆகுதுன்னா பேங்கிங் சர்வீசஸ், இன்சூரன்ஸ், டிரான்ஸ்போர்ட்டேஷன், கம்யூனிகேஷன், ஓகே, ஸோ எக்ஸெட்ரா. ஆல் மெம்பர் கண்ட்ரீஸ், எல்லா மெம்பர்ஸ் கண்ட்ரீஸும் ஆர் சப்போஸ் டு எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் எம்எஃப்என், தட் இஸ் மோஸ்ட் ஃபேவர்ட் நேஷன் ஸ்டேட்டஸ், டு ஆல் அதர் கண்ட்ரீஸ் without any discrimination. So there should be a transparency for maintaining and by publishing all relevant laws and regulation. Next, passing out of multi-fiber agreement. So what is this multi-fiber agreement means? The multi-fiber agreement govern the world trade in textiles and garments. Okay, ஸோ இது எங்கே ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறோன்னா கார்மெண்ட்ஸ்லேயும் டெக்ஸ்டைல்லையும். ஸோ இதில் வந்து நம்ம வந்து வி இம்போஸ்ட் சம் கோட்டாஸ் ஆன் த எக்ஸ்போர்ட் textiles, so by developing nations to be a developed country. So in order to make the developing nations as a developing countries, we have imposed some quotas. So this quota system was to be passed out over a period of 10 years. So it should be passed at least for 10 years. For this was really this was beneficial to India. And next is agriculture, agreement on agriculture, that is AOA. Agriculture was included for the first time under GATT. So this was the first time to include the agriculture in the GATT. So the important aspect is tarification, tariff cuts, that is taxலாம் வந்து கட் பண்ணணும், அதே மாதிரி சப்சிடிஸ் வந்து ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றது தான். நெக்ஸ்ட் டிஸ்பியூட் செட்டில்மெண்ட் பாடி. ஸோ இந்த டிஸ்பியூட் ஏதாவது வந்து பிரச்சனைகள் இருந்ததுன்னா it should come to an end by procedural delays. So it is mandatory, அது வந்து compulsory பண்ணாங்க, and dispute within 18 months. So this disputes are resolved through multilateral trading system. However, India has lost a huge export earning because of the condition laid out by the body. So next, some of the functions of WTO, World Trade Organization ஓட functions என்னன்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, first the following functions are to facilitate the implementation, administration and operation of the objectives of the agreement. ஸோ இந்த அக்ரிமெண்ட்டை வந்து நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அதை இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணணும், அதே மாதிரி இது ப்ராப்பராக வந்து நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும், ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும், அட்மின் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றது தான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு ஃபங்க்ஷன். ஓகே, ஸோ நெக்ஸ்ட்டு ஃபங்க்ஷன் என்ன அப்படின்னு வந்து பார்த்தீங்கன்னா it provides the forum for negotiation among its members concerning the multilateral trade relation in matters relating to the agreement. So it supports the members, okay, and helps in the multilateral trade relations, okay, in the matters of agreement. And next is it administers the understanding on rules and regulation procedures. So it helps to understand the rules by administering them. Okay, so through that it also settle the disputes among the member countries. Next is it cooperates with the IMF, that is International Monetary Fund. It has some cooperation with the IMF and the World Bank, and is also affiliated agencies with the view to achieve a greater coherence in global economic policy. So some of the major WTO functions are administering the World Trade Agreements. Okay, so it will administer the World Trade Agreements and forum of trade negotiation, handling trade disputes, monitoring national trade policies, technical assistance and training for developing countries, and cooperation with other international organizations. So next, what are the achievements of WTO? So the major achievements of WTO are, first one, use of restrictive measures for BOP problems has declined markedly. So what means, so BOP balance of paymentல இருக்கக்கூடிய problems வந்து ரெடியூஸ் ஆகிருக்கு. ஓகேவா, பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் த சம் ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்டிவ் மெஷர்ஸ். அதே மாதிரி சர்வீஸ் ட்ரேட் ஹாஸ் பீன் ப்ராட் இன் டு த மல்டிலேட்ரல் சிஸ்டம் அண்ட் மெனி கண்ட்ரீஸ் ஆஸ் இன் குட்ஸ் ஆர் ஓப்பனிங் தியர் மார்க்கெட்ஸ் ஃபார் ட்ரேட் அண்ட் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட். சார் நிறையா அதாவது ட்ரேடில் வந்தீங்கன்னா தே ஹாவ் ப்ரொவைடட் ஸோ மெனி சர்வீசஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ நிறையா சிஸ்டம்ஸை கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. ஓகே, நிறையா கண்ட்ரீஸில். ஸோ அதனால் என்னென்னா நிறைய ஓப்பன் மார்க்கெட்டிங். ஓகே, தே ஹாவ் ஓப்பன் மோர் மார்க்கெட்ஸ் ஃபார் ட்ரேட் அண்ட் இன்வெஸ்ட்மெண்ட். அடுத்தது, ட்ரேட் பாலிசி ரிவ்யூ மெக்கானிசம் ஹஸ் கிரியேட்டட் அ ப்ராசஸ் ஆஃப் கண்டினியூஸ் மானிட்டரிங். ஸோ கண்டினியூஸாக இந்த ட்ரேட் பாலிசினால் வி ஆர் மானிட்டரிங் கண்டினியூஸ்லி த டெவலப்மெண்ட்ஸ். ஓகே, so here you have, that is the WTO ministerial conference, that is எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் எந்தெந்த இயரில் நடந்திருக்கு அப்படின்றது. ஸோ you just mark it, this will come for you one word. Okay, so just go through this. Next is WTO and India. இந்தியாவுக்கும் WTOக்கும் உள்ள ஒரு ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இந்தியா இஸ் த ஃபவுண்டிங் மெம்பர் ஆஃப் த WTO. ஸோ WTOட ஒரு முக்கியமான ரொம்ப இஷ்டப்பட்ட ஒரு மெம்பர் யாருன்னா இந்தியா. ஸோ இந்தியா ஃபேவர்ஸ் மல்டிலேட்ரல் ட்ரேட் அப்ரோச். ஸோ இந்தியா என்னது, இந்த மல்டிலேட்ரல் ட்ரேட், அதாவது நிறையா குட்ஸுக்கு நிறைய கண்ட்ரி கூட நிறைய குட்ஸ் டிரான்சாக்ஷன் பண்ணுறான் அப்படின்னு தான் மல்டிலேட்ரல் ட்ரேட். ஸோ ஒரு குட் இல்லாமல் ஒன்றுக்கு மேற்பட்ட குட் பொருட்கள் டிரான்சாக்ஷன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு பேர் தான் மல்டிலேட்ரல் ட்ரேட். ஓகேவா, ஸோ இட் என்ஜாய்ஸ் MFN ஸ்டேட்டஸ். Okay, and allows the same status to all other trading partners also. Okay va, so India benefited from WTO on following grounds. So என்னென்ன கிரவுண்ட், அதாவது எந்தெந்த இடத்துல it has what gained அப்படின்னா by reducing the tariff. Okay, by reducing the tariff rates on raw materials, okay, components and capital goods. So raw material rate குறைச்சாலே நம்ம என்ன பண்ணுவோம் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, நமக்கு ஒரு பாசிட்டிவான ஒரு டெவலப்மெண்ட் இருக்கும். ஓகேவா, ஸோ அதில் it helped. Next it gets market access. நிறைய இடத்துல it has a trading relationship with several countries. Okay, with the bilateral agreements. And next, advanced, and also it now we are having so many advanced technologies, okay, at a cheaper cost. And also we are developing with the help of the technologies, we are going further one step front. Okay, so and also India is in a better position to get quick redressal from the trade disputes. So because of this trade development, we are gaining more income and more employment opportunities are given. Okay, because of this, see, like this MNC, once the MNC came into India, many of them have got the jobs. Okay, and all are enjoying the standard of living. Okay, and also some of the trade disputes, அதாவது buying and selling of goodsல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு misunderstandings எல்லாமே has been reduced. And the Indian exporters benefited from wider market information. Yes, so the Indian people get a large information about the market conditions of different countries. So now all are having a knowledge and they are getting a export knowledge. Okay, so now they all are benefited. Okay, so now the Indian exporters exporting more goods. Okay, so and also transaction is very much favor to Indian market conditions. Okay, so that's all about this. So in the next class, let us discuss about the trade blocks. Thank you, children.